Travel websites like Priceline and Expedia are facing some headwinds because of the Airbnbs of this world and because some hotels now say, hey, you can't book through the Expedias of this world, you've got to book direct with us. That hurts their business. Come on in, please. Someone who was an early executive at Priceline, and he built Expedia, or part of the team that built it. That man right there is Jeff Hoffman, who joins us now, Driving Forces Enterprise CEO. All right, Jeff, are these sites, like Expedia, for example, are they under real pressure? Are they having some of their profit margin taken off them?
They are. And by the way, I want to book my travel on a cheese grater next time, so I'm glad you promoted that.
Well, that's what it looks like. I'm not being nasty about Apple.
It's the clash of the titans. They are battling head-to-head and trying to get into each other's businesses, right? You know, Booking.com, part of the Booking Holdings platform, the Priceline family, they actually have more listings now, I believe, than Airbnb in apartment rentals. So they're trying to get into that space, and meanwhile, Airbnb bought Hotel Tonight so that they can provide discount hotels. So they're definitely going at it. All of them, Expedia as well, is getting into the apartment rental space and others, but the big guys are definitely fighting it out.
So you are part of the team that built Expedia, correct?
Yes, we built the back end.
You know, I'm in the hotel business, and you guys are killing me because our guests used to book directly with us. Nobody does that anymore. No, they go through Expedia. Expedia takes its piece, and that reduces my profit margin significantly. Do you know what you're doing here?
It does, but in the end, I think the consumer's going to win, right? Everybody's trying right now to become one-stop shopping for you. So if there's a cost in that model for convenience, somebody's got to eat that cost. Unfortunately, it might be hotel owners like you. But one-stop shopping is what it's all about. That's why, for example, Priceline bought OpenTable and RentalCars.com. Everybody's trying to be one place to plan your entire vacation so you don't have to go to a lot of sites to get a trip planned. Now, that's the big focus now.
When I think of Airbnb, I think they're going public, I believe, sometime this year. I think that's the plan. How do you feel about that? Where do you think that Airbnb is going when it's a public company?
You know, I do think that that's interesting, testing the public market like that. I think that part of the reason they want to go that way is for the additional funding, for the resources they need. Battling some of the giants like Booking has a much larger. Booking Holdings spends $5 billion a year marketing because they have that kind of money. Airbnb does not. So I think going to the public market to raise capital so that they can fight in that they can market bigger and better and be hipper and cooler. I think that's a lot of what their focus is, and it'll enable them to do more related acquisitions in the one-stop travel planning space.
Got it. Now, I know you're a tech guy, so I'm going to ask you a big tech question. Amazon, Facebook, Google facing possible antitrust pressure, shall we say, from the government. Do you think those three companies, any of those three companies, do you think they should be broken up?
Well, I think that it should be looked at, right? And, you know, I notice that Congress keeps talking about this, but in fact, we have the Federal Trade Commission. We have entities whose job it is to professionally study antitrust, right? That's why there's the Sherman Act and the Clayton Act and the FTC Act. I think it needs to be studied. I need to see real data, real proof that this is harming other businesses, harming consumers, better for the consumers. There's a lot of conjecture, but I'd love to see a real study to say what is the price of allowing these companies to get too big and who's paying that price. And it might just be that some of them do need to be broken up to level the playing field, but I just haven't seen the data yet.
Now, how do you feel about a Facebook or a Google which shall I say, abuses my privacy? They lose my personal information. What do you think should happen to them?
Yeah, I feel like, I think that the penalties just aren't stiff enough. I mean, we continue to have major data breach after major data breach. And if you were to compare, like, let's say you looked at the data privacy laws in Germany, those have teeth. There are penalties that cause companies to take much bigger steps to protect data. And I just feel like the consequences of these data breaches. You read about a data breach, but you don't read about what happened to those companies. Maybe they get fined some minute amount that they can easily afford, and it doesn't make me feel as a consumer like anybody's doing anymore to protect my data. So I just feel like we need to step it up, both in the technology and in the consequences of not protecting our data the way it should be protected.
And I see that coming down the pike, frankly. I think that's exactly what is going to happen. Jeff Hoffman, thanks for joining us, sir. Appreciate it. And I'll forgive you
so
for
much
what
for
you've
having
done.
me.
I'll forgive you for what you've done to my hotel holdings. You're all right. We'll see you later.
Thank you.